How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for talking to me today.
Oh no, thank you for talking to me. Are you still snowed in at the moment?
We are. Yeah, it's pretty much solid ice out there right now. So just been I'm about to go stir crazy. We've been cooped up in the house for about 3 or 4 days.
That must be so. It's just not what I picture for a life in Nashville. Is that what the weather that we're seeing at the moment? Like, as someone who's never been there, it's not what I picture. But I will say, like, in this time that you get cooped up, does it give you any inspiration for music or anything?
A little bit. I mean, it's kind of tough. My kids are here, and we're trying to keep them entertained because they're going crazy. So I haven't had a lot of time to sit down and work on it on much. But it's kind of I feel like it's kind of fun every now and then to have some days where you can't really go anywhere and you got to stay in the house and makes you kind of everybody hang out. And we didn't have internet for a couple of days, so that was kind of nice. Everybody was off their phones and all the stuff, so it hadn't been all bad.
My gosh. Well, lucky because we have actually got finally, I don't know if you can see that, some good weather in New Zealand and you're going to experience it for the very first time. I can't believe you haven't been here before.
Never been. I'm excited though. We came to Australia, I think, 10 years ago, but we didn't come to New Zealand during that trip. So this will be our first trip there, get to play a few shows, and then jump back over to Australia and do that. And I love that it's summertime for you guys. That makes me extremely happy. So I can't wait to get there.
What was it like? What made you come over this time? Had you just heard good things? Did you finally get the push to be like, you know what? While I'm over this other side of the world, go to Aussie, I may as well head to New Zealand too.
Well, I think when we went over 10 years ago, we kind of went over because we had never been. I feel like there was a little bit of buzz going on over there, and we wanted to come and play and see what it was all about. And then right after that, we started having kids. So our kids have been really small. My son just turned 8. My daughter will be 7 in like another week. So they've just been really little, and it's been hard to make that trip over there. And so I was kind of waiting until they got a little older, and ironically, they were going to go. And then at the last minute, my son's like, man, we told him how long the flight was. He's like, I don't know if I want to do that. And so I think my wife's going to stay home. She's not going anyway. So we could have went over there anytime. But we had a blast. We had a blast over there. And I don't think we realized how many fans we had halfway around the world. So it was really fun for me to go over there and see that. And everybody's really excited to go back and play again because it's been too long.
Oh, and I mean, I don't know if you've heard the shift in the love for country music in New Zealand over the last few years, but it's become massive. In fact, we used to never get anyone coming over here. I mean, Keith Urban was probably the only one because he's technically from here. But other
Right.
than that, no one really. And so it's so exciting having our favorites like you actually make the trip. And I will say it, you probably get this all the time. It's hands down one of my favorite songs of all time. You Make It Easy. Surely this is in the set list.
Well, oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, good.
That's been, I think if you probably looked at the numbers or any of that stuff, that's probably the biggest song I've ever had here. So, that one definitely that one doesn't come out of the set list ever.
Is it one of those ones where you do check the stats of each country as well? Like, do you see which songs kind of work better in different parts of the world?
I don't really look at that honestly. If I'm being honest, I don't really look at it too much here either. I just if the songs are hits and they do well, obviously we're going to put them in the show. But that's interesting. I would like to actually know what the biggest songs we have over there are. I mean, that would be awesome. I need to get somebody from my record company to give me that info because they don't let me have stuff like that. They don't give me that kind of information.
Are they worried what you'll do with it? Maybe.
Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, I would love to know that and love to know like what's popular over there, what people seem to like, and our plan is to come over and play as many of the hits as we can. That's always my goal with any show is to people are coming out to hear the songs and hear the music, and I'm not one to go out and spend half the night talking on stage. It's like let's go out and play as many songs as we can. Let's try to get through as many of those as we can get through while we have a chance. So, but yeah, yours is definitely on the show, and hopefully, there's some other ones over there that people are into that'll be familiar favorites too.
Oh, don't you worry. The crazy thing about New Zealand is that where you're heading is the main hub of where artists come to do shows, right? But it's the South Island that's the real southern region. It's where all the country guys are. It's where they're all traveling from to be there for the show to watch you. And they do it for all of their favorites. And so you're going to get the people that absolutely listen to you in their big green tractors. You know, they're going to listen to you 24/7 in their job. So I think it's really cool because people are going to make the trip to see you. And it's only a couple of weeks away, mate. We're so excited for this.
Well, we're excited. We're excited to head back. I'm not looking forward to the flight, but everything else I'm
Yeah.
excited about.
I mean,
You
your
guys are a
son's
long
right
way
about
away.
that. Your son is right about that. He's going to be gutted not being able to see it for the first time, but he is right.
Yeah, he's going to be mad he didn't go at some point. But I told him it was 22 hours, and he was like, he goes, "That's like a whole day." I'm like, "Yeah, that's like a whole day, man." He goes, I don't think I want to go." So, but that's an 8-year-old for you.
It's so funny. I mean, I will say people are going to be gutted. Your wife's not coming.
She's kind of bummed out because she came with me the last time and absolutely loved it. So, and she had never been to New Zealand either, so she was excited to come. But you know, she's got to be mom while dad goes to work, I guess. So,
Yeah, not only for you though, but for the dogs and the pigs and all that jazz too,
all
right?
of them, yeah, that's right.
What have you learned? Like, what do you know about New Zealand that you potentially want to see whilst you're here? Anything in particular?
I know I know that red stag is awesome, and I would love to hunt red stag while I was there. I don't know when that season is, but and then from what I can see, you guys have some pretty amazing beaches and stuff like that, which I'm a beach guy. So um, I'll probably be hanging out at some beach bars there on our days off, just kind of like taking it in. And it's warm weather, so warm weather, beach, I'm in. But I definitely want to come over there at some point and do some stag hunting for sure.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out when stag season is. I know duck shooting season kicks off on first weekend of May. They might be able to, I think they made it work this time of year last time. There'll be someone who wants to take you out on their boat or take you hunting. Don't you worry about that. Soon as people hear about you coming and knowing that you're into that, they'll be reaching out, trying to get you involved.
Hey, don't tease me with a good time.
Honestly, though, they will. Are you into fishing and whatnot too?
I love to fish. Yeah, any kind of stuff like that. Even that, like that would probably be a little more feasible on this trip because I don't know how many days off we actually have there, but I think we get in and we have like a couple days off before we get started. But yeah, I love to fish. Love being on the water all the time. I'm like I said, I'm a beach guy, so I'm anything that could be a beach bar, a boat, whatever you want to do. I'm into it.
Yeah, I'm sure we can make something happen with that. Don't you worry. If I had a boat, I would, but it'd be the size of a dinghy, so it wouldn't be that enjoyable. This is exciting having you here, though. And I mean, for the very first time, people are going to witness you live. As you said, you don't talk a lot on stage, which I think people appreciate because they're there for you to rock out and do your thing.
Yeah.
We won't have many of the new album. We have a few songs, but are there going to be any more released between now and the 19th of Feb?
I think we might have another drop of like maybe 3 songs that are going to come out pretty soon, like maybe first part of February, like coming up pretty soon, I think. So, and we're playing some songs in the show, a couple of new things that haven't dropped yet in the show. Even if they don't drop, you'll hear something new. So, but yeah, we're just trying to stagger this album out. The one thing I've kind of learned over the last couple albums that we've done is I feel like when we get to the end of that album cycle, we're leaving some really good songs on the table. Like we're not. I feel like there's songs there that should have their day. They should be singles and kind of have their moment in the sun. And we're just not getting to those songs. And so we're trying to drop the album a little different this time than we have in the past, where here's a few songs, here's the second single, here's the album, and then you kind of hopefully can get to maybe 4 or 5 singles versus 3. And it just it's a lot that goes into making albums and writing the songs and doing all the stuff. And so it just kind of stinks when you leave some of those albums that you think are big hits that could be big hits, and you really just don't have time to get to them, and you have to move to the next album. So that's kind of why we're dropping the album a little different this time and sort of leaving these little breadcrumbs leading up to the album. But I think we might have another drop that's coming before we see you guys. So hopefully there'll be a few more songs for you to listen to.
I do love the way that you've done that, especially because you're right. Each song, you want it to have its own life and not just be a part of an accumulation with the album that drops. Obviously, people, I know for a fact, which is weird, it didn't used to happen, I don't feel, but people love listening to albums start to finish. And so
Yeah.
that obviously is something that a lot of people are doing these days as well. But you're right, it needs its own life to be able to really give that like love for the song. Is there one in particular that you are excited for fans to hear that we may get before the concert?
There's a song we've been playing live a little bit called Anytime Soon. And we haven't dropped it yet, but we've been just playing it live just for fun and just kind of seeing what the crowd, trying to get a gauge on what they think. And so that one's really cool. I'm excited about that one. The next single, the second single off the album will be a song called Don't Tell On Me, which I'm not sure when that one's dropping, but I know that's going to be the next single here, probably coming out in the next month or so. So that may be one we're working up, kind of getting ready to play when we come see you guys. I know, we might actually start working it up this weekend. So yeah, those there's a song called She's Why that I think is going to be a pretty big song off the record. And so yeah, we're just trying to keep some of those ones that we know are going to be singles, try to keep those under wraps a little longer, just so people, I don't know, we don't want to give it to them too early to where they're tired of it by the time it's a single. So just trying to figure out how to drop it a little different, and but also kind of save some of those for the for when the album comes out. There's still some really cool hammers on there too.
Oh, I'm so excited for this. And I'm excited for this entire album, for you to be here. And also, let me just, with the album being songs about us, the us being you and your wife, or being like you and your family, is it an accumulation of a bunch of things, or is it more honed in?
Here's the thing with that song. That song's a duet that I did with Luke Bryan. And, I think that's one of those things where I picked Luke to do that song with, because Luke and I are from the same part of the world. We grew up, listening to the same music and same background, same part. I mean, all of it. I used to tear his posters down in a club and then put my posters up to play before we ever moved to Nashville. Either one of us, but we never knew each other. So, but I feel like a lot of the songs that we grew up on sort of shaped our life. It was big influences for us as far as music goes. And just, it was kind of the soundtracks to our lives, and I feel like over the last 20 years or so, probably a lot of Luke's songs, mine and Luke's songs, have become soundtracks to people's lives and things like that. And so, Songs About Us is just like, it's like these songs that we put out, they're about us. It's songs you can relate to. It's songs I can relate to. You know what I mean? So it's just kind of like songs about everybody. It's songs about us, and it's hopefully, like I said, kind of the soundtrack to not only our lives, but some other people out there that are fans of the music.
So just on that, how did you two connect if you were pulling his posters off? Like, was there a little bit of tension for a while there?
No, we were, we both still lived in Georgia. We, we played some of the same bars. So my band would play one night or one weekend, and the next weekend his band would come in and they'd tear our stuff down and put their stuff up, or vice versa. And then we didn't meet each other until, I don't know, probably 2008, 9, somewhere in there. I ran into him at a radio station in Knoxville, Tennessee. I was coming in, he was leaving, and we met. And we had heard each other's names and knew who the other one was, but we had never met. And so just kind of hit it off and became fast friends. He came out on the road and opened shows for me like 2 out of the next 3 years. And so we basically were out on the road together for 2 out of the next 3 years, and just kind of became really good friends. And not only in the business, but like away from the business, we're business partners in different things outside of music. And it's just been a really cool friendship.
That's the kind of story that you love to hear, especially in the same industry, because I can imagine it can be not like that with a lot of people. So the fact that it was like you were kind of coming up together and then that happened is awesome. That's so cool to hear. Just quickly, I do see, is that Georgia, are they NFL shirts in the back, or are they baseball, softball? I don't know the difference.
It's a little bit of baseball and football back there. A lot of sports memorabilia in my house.
I love it. I have to say, I'm one of those people that's only just jumped on the bandwagon for NFL, because we didn't really watch it until the Super Bowl every year. But where did the Georgia Bulldog? Oh, wow.
Some of those are plaques, but some of those, like, I don't know if you can see my finger, but yeah. So
Yeah,
you're just
that's
getting on the
sick.
NFL train?
Yeah, well, only just, and then obviously got to. I don't even know, but got to support the Georgia Bulldogs, obviously, right?
Yes, absolutely. You got the perfect name.
Exactly. And I need this is why I need to go to Georgia because I mean, like Georgia, the country, and also Georgia in the states because it's yeah. Otherwise, I just kind of going null and void with this name, really. Otherwise,
That's home for me. So it's always nice to hear the name or hear just any sort of affiliation. And the football team, Georgia football team, that's my diehard team. So
love it. I love to hear it. And also, I mean, I will say if you get the chance when you're down here to catch up with us, I'd absolutely love to see you. We're so excited. Bring on 19th of Feb, and I hope that you get to get out on the ocean, catch some fish and whatnot.
well, I appreciate it. I'll do my best. I promise. If it can happen, I'll be trying to make it happen. So I can't wait to get there and play some shows for everybody and hopefully run into you, get to say hello in person.